Hey everybody, it's Joseph Shepard.
And your girl, Miss Laganja, Estranja.
And welcome back to another episode of
Queening Out! Okay, how are ya?
I'm good. I'm feeling great in my little
You look great. Yes.
You know, I wore this to
the posse party.
The posse party, and I felt like I didn't get to experience the outfit the way that I wanted to experience.
You didn't. So I'm glad that you are wearing it and showing it off today. You look fab.
Yeah, I was like posse pride party, and then there were so many people, and I was like,
it was
I got
crammed.
Overwhelmed.
It was hot. But the kids were nice, actually. I thought the group that showed up was fun. I feel like posse always like gets a good group of, you know, creatives in the room. So I did like the people that were there. But yeah, it was what my parents like to say, a clusterfuck. Good old country term, clusterfuck.
Wait, but you texted me last night and you said, was your trip a clusterfuck?
Okay, so I've thought long and hard about this. I've also had time to calm down. Long story short, I did a trip this week out of the U.S. and there were several things that were just insane about it. And I was going to come on here today and read for Phil, but I feel like, you know, putting that negativity out there, it really helps no one. And ultimately, I let the person who was in charge of me know how I felt very sternly, which is good. I'm glad I stood up for myself. But of course, now, like, I read it back and I'm like, oh, I was a little harsh and I wish I'd said it differently. And I'm such a softie. Like, it's crazy. Like, I really was mistreated. I mean, the one little thing that I will give away that was just like the ultimate, like, you've got to be kidding me, was like they were driving me around while drinking. So that's that's just crazy. Like, you just can't do that. And I was also like left in a country where I didn't speak the language more than once, which is again, just like, what? Like, you wouldn't treat Alyssa Edwards like this, you know? So yeah, needless to say, probably won't be going back there again. And definitely got in my feelings about it. You know, I feel like I've been in this industry for 10 years and, you know, I'm not expecting royal treatment and red carpets to be rolled out. But I think like general safety and care for the queen when they're in a place where they don't speak the language is pretty like basic needs. But, you know, I've been doing this for a long time and I've run into things like this many times. You know, it's part of the reason I think Gia like took a pause from drag is because a lot of the times, you know, people don't see the struggles that we go through or the things that we face. And, you know, promoters love to party. And I definitely felt pressured to party this weekend as well. And, you know, I didn't give in, which I'm very proud of myself because it was asked multiple times, do you want to drink? Do you want to drink? Drugs were offered, you know, yada, yada, yada. And the thing is, you know, I've learned that that's not good because for me, I will go crazy. And then all of a sudden the person that you wanted to get fucked up is fucked up. And now you're mad at her for being fucked up. And so it's like, I've learned, don't step into that bear claw and stick to your guns. And I did. And I'm very proud of myself for that. And of course, the minute I got home yesterday, I smoked the fattest joint and was like, good for you. You got through this. But yeah, it definitely was a challenging moment for me. And it was one of those moments where it was like, I can't do this forever. Like, I don't want to be in a nightclub having to party and dealing with, you know, the faggotry of it all.
Hey.
Yeah.
The faggotry of it
all. The faggotry of it all. So, you know, I am ready to move to that next step and take my music more seriously and hopefully perform at like 8 or 10 p.m. and not midnight and, you know, be done in a reasonable hour and be taken serious as the artist that I am. And, you know, these are one of the many reasons why like I continue to want to progress because, you know, some girls, they are happy working in the nightclubs. That's what they'll do for the rest of their life and they love it. And I support that and think that's amazing. I just know for me, that isn't my journey. And especially now that I am sober, you know, that environment, it's not hard to be around. I'm a very strong person, but it's not really conducive or conductive. What's the word I'm looking for?
Conductive.
It's not conductive to the art that I want to make.
Yeah.
And ultimately, you know, I want to be taken serious and I want to not have to like party to have fun or to like be the girl that gets invited back. And that is part of the reason why I think I became such a partier is, you know, promoters 9 times out of 10 party themselves. That's why they own clubs. And so if you aren't fun and you don't drink and you're a wet blanket, they don't want to bring you back, you know? So long story short, it was a learning lesson as life is for all of us when we have conflicts and troubles and trialations, and I am just proud of myself that I didn't give in. I stayed sober. And while I was there up until the last moment and I read them for filth, I was very nice. I was very professional. And I think even in the reading or the lashing, I still was, I wasn't calling them like crazy names or anything like that. I just basically let them know how I felt and that I felt like my safety wasn't considered. Yeah. Both as someone who's sober and trying to stay sober and as someone who's in another country that doesn't speak the language,
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Yeah.
You want the safety, you want to feel good, you don't want to feel very attacked.
Correct. Exactly. I also don't want a flight that has a 5-hour layover,
Oh no, those would work.
Girl, I spent the whole day at the airport and yeah. So needless to say, I am trying to learn the power of no. I'm not good at it. I really believe in taking every gig, no matter how big or small, that every opportunity leads to something else. But it's like even today, like I'm supposed to go to this party tonight and I just can't, Gorge. I got to drive to Vegas tomorrow. It's like I need to at some point put myself first before my job. And I think I struggle with that. My career has always come first before love, before my friends, before even me and my mental health. And I think at some point you have to check in and say like, is that okay? And I've done that work and I know it's not okay. So now I need to take the steps to actually protect myself.
Yeah.
And when something doesn't feel right, like I should speak up right away and not wait the whole time and just be the nice girl to get along always. It's just hard. Because I don't like to cause trouble, and drama is not my favorite. I love to watch drama.
Yeah,
but I don't want to. I don't want to be in it.
No, you don't want to be in the drama.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of something that's a little bit drama filled.
Okay.
Your little moment that you had last episode.
Oh, okay, yes.
It popped off.
It really did. I was actually very surprised when you texted me the Reddit thread. I was like, oh, here we go. But no, it was good.
It was really good.
It was so good. I was kind of overwhelmed.
I was shooketh that Reddith.
I love her.
Shooketh that Reddith was very nice.
It was very nice. Yeah, and I loved it because so many people I feel like understood. And I think it was the first time I really felt that way. I feel like so many times people are like, why won't you go? And it was just so nice to have people be like, I can understand where she's coming from, or I hope she gets the confidence to go back. Or it was crazy. Like I really was not expecting that.
And I think it was because you were just so raw and real. I think at the end of the day, a lot of times, you're behind social media or they just see you at a club or whatever. And it's like, you don't really get the personability.
I love when we both try to use words that are like big, but we're like, is this the right word?
It's something in there.
Yeah, my best friend's always like, girl, you used that word wrong. I'm like, well, most people are dumb. It sounded smart.
No, but I loved it. I loved reading all the comments. I think that we are on a really good trajectory.
Oh, look at that buzzword.
We did it.
Well, yeah, and I think you're right. I said this to you, but I was like, I said it to Isaac, actually, I think, your partner. But I said basically like, one of the reasons I was able to be so raw is because I was with you. I feel so comfortable with you. And a lot of times when I'm being interviewed by someone I don't know, or I'm just giving them the whole ABCs of the answer that I normally give. But I feel like with you, I'm always able to just kind of like take down that wall. And I also feel like our listeners and our watchers are on our side, so it makes it easier to feel supported and to just be vulnerable. So I definitely also had people be like, you're hilarious that not a soul can clock is what made this moment happen for you. But then I even saw in comments that people were like, actually, it made me cry too. And I totally felt with, what you were feeling. Yeah. So, I think it's a beautiful thing that we are so supported by our watchers and listeners. And I'm excited to see where the future goes,
Well, your sister, Miss Gia Gunn, put out a tweet. Did you see that?
No.
Today?
No.
She basically said, "Dear World of Wonder,
oh God,
can you please take me off the blacklist? I would like to come back."
Really? She did? Wow, I'm shocked. Well, she is getting back into the drag of it all. And she's actually been having fun, which shocks me. So good for her.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, the kids would love to have her back on TV.
100%.
Talk about stirring the pot. I would love to have her back on.
That'd be great.
She knows how to give us good TV.
You ready for a little email?
Of course. And if you guys don't know, you can email us at laganjos, that's LAGANJOES @gmail.com. Did I do it right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, good. So many letters. Laganjos@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Well, this email is from Corey, and I'm giving you a forewarning. It's a novel. So thank you, Corey.
Okay, work.
Yeah. Hey, Joseph and Laganja. Sorry for the novel. Happy 10-year anniversary of being on Drag Race, Laganja.
Oh, me. I was like, we've not been doing this pod for 10 years. Oh, my God.
Congratulations, and thank you for a decade of being a global cultural icon and advocate for the green and light blue and pink.
Yes.
Laganja, question. In 2014, Jay introduced the world to Laganja Estranja. In 2021, Jay introduced the world to Jay. Watching Jay's journey to find her truth and live it means so much to so many people, more than you know. In continuing your growth into goddesshood and personal development, what are some experiences or unfulfilled desires you feel are most missing from your journey or outside of your career?
Good one. Well, first is definitely my love life. I think we talked a little bit about it on here with the apps, which let me tell you, I've been horrible on. Like literally will not check it for a week, and then I'll go and check it for a week and write a message and then go another week. I'm like, I finally gave my number to one guy and he didn't text me right away, which I'm like, well, that's not going to work for me. No, it really will. I get it. Other people are busy, and that's what ultimately I think I need in my life is someone who does have their own life outside of the relationship and is fulfilled in their own life like I am with my job. I think if I could meet someone like that, that would be ideal. I've always said, like, I think I would be good at long distance. Ultimately, I'm a lot and very annoying. So I think it will be good for my partner to not be around me 24/7, and not saying that I would want it to be long distance forever. But I think starting out, if I could find someone who, you know, lived in New York or lived in Miami or somewhere else in the US, that would probably work best for me. But definitely love life is missing from my life. I think focus on my health is something that's really missing and something that I'm trying to focus on. I've lost 8 pounds in the last 2 weeks. I'm very proud of that. And I've been trying to, you know, order for 2 and eat for 1 as opposed to order for 5 and eat for 3. And yeah, so I think health, love, and I'm really good with my friends. I see my friends pretty often and like check in and do things like that. So I feel like that's good in my life. But I do feel like so much of my focus is my job. Yeah. So there's a lot of things like even, you know, looking at getting surgeries for myself. Like that's something I've been putting off because I'm like, ooh, do I really have a month or 3 to recover from that surgery? Like, you know, but I have finally reached out to a doctor to get a consultation. So there are steps being taken to move that forward. And I am trying through therapy to focus more on myself and less on my job and this thing that I'm trying to obtain. But yeah, it's a good question because it's true. I do miss out on a lot of things, but it is by choice. Yeah. So even though sometimes it makes me sad, I remind myself that I love my job. I'm married to my job, and that ultimately my job does fulfill me 80% of the time. So if I'm only missing 20%, I think it's a pretty good trade-off, but I do think both are possible. Yeah.
I can see that. And I think that when you start off on something like Drag Race and you're thrown into a humongous world, it's like you want to take every opportunity, you want to do everything, you put everything to the side because this is a moment. You may not get it again.
And you don't know how long it'll last. Yep. And I mean, I think that's part of the reason that I'm still working a decade later, not only because I'm talented and professional and all of those things, but because I have said yes to so many opportunities and I have kept my name in the hat and I have made sure that people don't forget me.
Yeah. Joseph, question. Same question minus the goddesshood part.
Why? You're still a goddess, darling.
Oh, thank you. Unless that's part of your journey. I would say that unfulfilled desires you feel are most missing from your journey or outside of your career. I think being in tap with the world. I know that that's a bizarre thing to say, but I kind of mean like socially, not necessarily like what's going on in the world and like politics and all that stuff. Like I know all that, but like the actual like what's happening or like going out or like doing things. I think that my socialization has always, because of my autism, been an issue. And I think that that's something that I've been trying to get out of. Did I want to go to that party the other night? No, but I said, you know what? At the end of the day, go, because you never know what could happen. Kind of like how you said. Exactly. So I am trying to push myself a little bit more to do things that I wouldn't necessarily do.
Well, I can tell you as someone who's out in the world, you're not missing much.
Good. Okay, good.
It's just a bunch of gays with drama and, I mean, I'm kidding. Obviously, I'm in jest. There are beautiful things out there. But I also think we're very similar in that, being in a large party setting isn't necessarily where we thrive.
Yeah.
I mean, I can fake it. It is something that I have to do for my job, but it's not something I enjoy. I'd much rather go out with one-on-one or a small group and go to a museum or go to a movie or do something that's not just like being in a sweaty packed club and
or just
taking Instagram photos.
Sit in some air conditioning and watch a movie, have some edibles and eat some bad food.
Right.
Like those are like more the enjoyable moments for me.
I feel that. I totally feel that.
Regarding that season 6 episode, you were pretty much right about the whole situation. The groom Jocelyn was partnered with had no idea what he was walking into and was only there in an attempt to atone for an infidelity.
Ooh.
The experience of being on the show was his girlfriend's retaliation to humiliate him. This may explain why he was so nervous and nauseous on the runway, because remember he puked. Oh, I don't know if you remember that. Okay, well he did. Essentially, he was tricked into doing something that attacked his personal identity. And because of that, he also felt that his public image was attacked because he's a professional basketball player in Europe.
Oh.
That's when he ended up putting forth the lawsuit following the divorce 7 years later. And to distance himself from any association to his ex-wife and the LGBTQIA plus community, he requested the episode be removed worldwide from all streaming services, but WoW countered him by offering him a purple edit, minimal screen time. In a settlement, WoW compromised by agreeing to remove the episode in the US. It is still available everywhere else in the world, season 6, episode 10. That is, if you don't consider episode 8 the true season finale. Was that when you left?
Well, I don't know, girl. What?
When did you leave?
I was 8th to go home.
I don't know.
I placed 8th. I don't know. We're doing math now and I'm confused.
Adding a little bit of sugar to the tea, at a 2017 DragCon panel, Jocelyn talked about how she hoped that after this man walked away from the experience, he had learned how to be a little bit more tolerant, which would leave everyone sipping their tea to assume he wasn't entirely respectful on set.
Wow, this is so crazy. I never knew this tea. Also, like, the fact that he got World of Wonder to remove partly is crazy. Like, what was the lawsuit? What does he have against them? He signed up for the show, even if he did it not knowing. He signed the paperwork, no?
I would guess so, but then at the same time, I'm wondering, like, how was it set up in a sneak way? Like, your girlfriend or your wife or whatever sets you up on this? Like, I know you have to sign paperwork at the end of the day, but, like, what was it?
Yeah, I just wish we had a lawyer friend we could call and be like, what would he have actually sued for?
But I know they're not great with their paperwork.
Well,
from what I've heard.
From what we know.
Because there was the cornbread scenario.
I don't know this either.
The cornbread scenario that I know is that they have the girls now sign a contract, or they did. I don't know if they changed it up again. That would basically put them into management with Voss.
Oh, yes, I remember that. That was for one season.
Yeah. And so during that season, they didn't give them the paperwork to fill out till like the 3rd episode.
Okay.
And Cornbread was like, no, I'm not doing it. And that was after she hurt her leg. And then
So she was the only girl not signed to Voss.
She was the only girl who didn't sign, yeah.
Wow.
And I guess that caused more controversy, so it makes sense. But.
Right. Well, I mean, props to this man, because I would think taking down World of Wonder would be very difficult.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was able to get them to do anything, I think is just like wild. But now also I really want to watch this episode.
Right?
I'm dying to watch it. I'm like, I have to see this and see if I can feel his hatred for the homos.
We should do a watch party of it.
Yeah, we should. Live reaction. We do it live.
I
love this.
The viewers can join us and we all watch it together.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, we should do that.
There was one more season 6 challenge that was removed from streaming.
Shemale.
This challenge was to give a makeover to a squirrel stuffed animal. Does Laganja remember this challenge? One team,
I do.
Jocelyn and Milk, cut the tail off their squirrel and referred to it as the trans squirrel. The whole challenge was edited out and now represents another acknowledgement towards the trans community.
Was I in it though?
Mm-hmm.
I was? I did the squirrel. Are you sure?
That's what he says.
Really? I remember where we did our chins. We had to like decorate our chins and go upside down in the box.
Let me look and see if there's
the squirrel challenge.
Um,
I think I would remember a trans squirrel. That's pretty hilarious.
Stuffed animal drag race.
Season 6.
Season 6.
Wow, I can't believe there's challenges missing from our season. That is so wild to me. But I do remember we had she-mail, and I think that got changed because that was offensive too.
Yeah, because
I mean, not to me.
I remember when Carmen Carrera did that, and then it went away. I didn't see anything about squirrels, but I'm gonna take it because
this person seems to be very well researched. Yeah,
I think Corey was actually the lawyer for this basketball person.
Okay.
And in conclusion, finally, congratulations on your 60 days, Laganja.
Yes.
Are there any updates on the second single from Iconic?
Good question. No, but there is a new single dropping on June 20th. I collaborated with Gala Music, which is a website that specializes in NFTs. So there will be 100 NFTs released of my track. And I'm also shooting a music video, which, by the way, what are you doing? June 17th.
I'm going to be
It's
in
a
your music
Monday.
video.
Yes, please come be in the video. We're going to go to Dockweiler Beach.
Okay.
Do you know it?
Yeah.
It's out by the airport, which I know is annoying, but it's the only place you can do a bonfire. And the song is called Hot.
Yes.
Hence the need for
A bonfire.
bonfire. But I'm bringing s'mores. So it'll be fun. Just 2 hours on the beach with friends. So yeah, stay tuned for that. June 20th, Hot, coming out. It's its own single. The only way you will be able to listen to the song in full is on the Gala website. So you will need to get that website to listen to the song, but there will be the music video on my YouTube channel. So really looking forward to that. Hoping to return to Iconic soon, but I'll be honest, things have been so busy, it's kind of taken me a little bit off of that. I do have one song already written and ready to go, so we just need to record it and make it happen, called Ish, I-S-H. And I have 2 more demos that I really love that I want to record, but I got to figure out the money and the this and the that. So as always, give me time. I'm working on the music. Hopefully it will happen, but at least you're going to get Hot June 20th and Sprite Remix, which is a song that I am featured on June 21st. So 2 new songs for me this month. We're still keeping the flow going.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Corey, for sending that in.
Yeah.
Great knowledge. I mean, if we ever have any other questions, please write in because
now we know who to go to. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's take a break and then let's get into this episode because I think that's what we do in this podcast.
Oh, right. RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 9. We'll be right back. And we are back with Queening Out. Now, let's get into this week's episode, Miss RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay, first of all, this mini challenge. When they brought out all the Teletubbies.
Okay, it was bad.
This was the...
It was cheeseball change. It was cheeseball change.
I didn't understand why they wanted the Teletubbies to dance because at the end of the day...
They can't dance with those stuffed things.
1. And 2, the queens are going to do something that's a little bit provocative. And these are like children's things. So they're not going to be like... You're not going to see a Teletubby like twerking or anything. Like that's not going to happen. They're not going to get on the ground. They're not going to do like a striptease. Like none of that's going to happen. So then it was just literally just like them merrily rolling along.
It was awkward to watch, I'm not going to lie. And I do love the Teletubbies. I've actually, been in touch with the company and I'm trying to collaborate with them myself. They're great people. They really do support the community. So I love that they had, the allyship representation. But I agree. I thought the format was just like not correct. Like maybe if they were just like all at the back and like they were in each shot as the queens danced forward or like did the whole soccer high five thing where they were like on the sides and would high five the queens or like, but making them interact with the Teletubby, it was awkward.
Did you watch the Teletubbies?
No.
I didn't either. My brother did.
Okay.
But Burger King during the time they had Teletubby toys.
I remember that.
And they had Teletubby custard. I don't know what it was, but it was the best thing ever.
Corey will know.
Yeah, Corey, let us know where the Teletubby custard is. I miss it. There's days that I think about it.
It was delicious?
I thought it was so good.
And was it flavored, like different flavors for each Teletubby? Or it was just
vanilla?
Okay, it was just the packaging.
It probably was
the
just
branding.
like some pudding or something that I thought was great. And it was just like some gelatin that they put in a little...
Right. Yeah, no, it was hard to watch, but I do think that Gottmik deserved a win because I felt like Gottmik used the Teletubby in the most creative way. There was more like spatial awareness and like kind of, although I liked Vanjie's too. Vanjie's was funny, right? Where she like did the lawnmower. That was funny. That was funny.
Well, the Teletubbies were there and then they went away.
Yeah.
And we get into the main challenge, which is going to be the
property puss.
I like that. Yeah. Property puss. This challenge, they basically were given 4 different cities in the US, and they were teamed up together in teams of 2, and then they had to sell the property, record a commercial for it, whatever it is. There's Gator Glades, Florida.
Right.
Frosty Bits, Alaska. Salem, Massachusetts, and Tumbleweed, Texas.
Yeah.
Now, Angeria and Vanjie had Gator Glades, Florida.
Right.
And there was this moment where Roxxxy and Plastique, they have the Tumbleweed, Texas, and they're like, what are you guys doing? Like, your accent, nobody in Florida, like, that's not the South. And like, Roxxxy was going, I like lived in Florida, like, people don't talk like that. Roxxxy, you're from Orlando.
Right.
There's a big difference.
There is. I thought the same thing. I was like, I don't think this argument has much legs.
No, there's no legs.
It's country in Florida.
It's country, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
They eat alligator, girl. I mean, that's country.
And
it's really good, though. Have you ever had it? Sorry, vegans. Have you ever had fried alligator?
No, I've never had alligator.
It's honestly so good. And they put Old Bay seasoning, which I'm convinced if you put Old Bay on anything, it's delicious. But yeah, it's like tender.
You know, we always had to like have like frog legs.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I've never had that. It's not good, right? There's not enough meat on that.
Yeah, it's like
Gator's like a little nugget. It's pretty good.
Chicken nuggets.
I liked it. I'm actually, I think I had it in Miami, and I remember I was like, really, we're gonna do this? And they were like, girl, you're in Florida, you have to eat gator. It's not bad.
Yeah. So I was like, Roxxxy, you're just in the main part of Florida.
She was just stirring it up this week, wasn't she?
She loved it.
She was stirring it up.
Loved every bit of it. So we have Angeria and Vanjie, and they're in Gator Glades, Florida. Their group name is Swamp Pussy Realness.
Loved it.
Got Mick and Georges are in Frosty Bits, Alaska, and their group name is Share and Tiff Real Estate.
I didn't get the name, but it's because their names were Share and Tiff, right?
Yeah.
But like Share and Tiff, is that a joke of something? I don't get it. I don't know. I just didn't. I didn't think the name was strong. The concept wasn't very strong, but I didn't think it was horrible.
No, I don't think any of them were horrible.
No, it was better. Like once they edited it all together, I was like, okay, it wasn't horrible.
Nina West and Chanel had Salem, Massachusetts, and that was Pretty Dead Realty.
Yeah, it was cute. It was safe for me.
Plastique and Roxxxy had Tumbleweed, Texas, with Keep a Comin' Real Estate.
Hilarious.
I have notes.
Oh, she has notes. Okay.
Because you know people say I agree with you, so I wanted to bring my.
Okay, good. I love it.
I thought Angeria and Vanjie, I thought that they were good. I thought that they nailed what they needed to nail. I thought, though, out of all 4 of the groups, I felt like Nina West and Chanel, while it was not as funny as the others, hit every single box that needed to be hit.
It was more traditional, right?
Yeah. They hit their real estate areas. They hit a few comedy angles. They looked great. It was more of like a cohesiveness to me. And that's, I think, where my mind would have gone. I understood the Plastique and Roxxxy thing because Plastique was like coming out of her shell or whatever. But I don't like that storyline.
Why?
Because, Laganja, if you get on the All-Stars, can you please, for the first 3 to 4 episodes, not do well at something, and then the 5th episode you do great at it?
Okay, yeah.
Because then you get all the like attention and the love. She came out. Oh, we're gonna give her the challenge win. Not to say she wasn't great, but like there's just this moment of like, oh, when those things happen,
it feels staged.
Yeah, or like a little off. But yeah. I thought everybody did good. I thought
Plastique was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
Her little popping up.
I thought overall, like, she has come out of her shell. Like on her season, whatever it was. I forget what season. Not that long ago, right? 12, 10?
11 or 12.
Yeah, not that long ago. She was so quiet and mild mannered, and so like I'm proud of her. Of course, she's my sister, House of Edwards, so I'm gonna root for her. But I'm proud of her for like really, not being afraid to look ugly and to just be wacky. And I was proud that they like kept telling her more and more and more. And she was just finally like, okay, you want me to be ridiculous? Yeah. I'm going to be ridiculous. Now, I didn't think they were the best. I didn't think that they should win. I actually thought Angie and Vanjie were more funny. Mm-hmm. I thought they were more creative in a way. It wasn't as slapstick humor. Mm-hmm. Like I liked the whole keep it in the family and they were, playing off incest. And I just thought that was funny. I mean, obviously horrible for Floridians, but funny. But I also can see your critique about Chanel and Nina. I do feel like they did the challenge what it was really supposed to be. They actually sold the property as of just selling humor. But we know RuPaul's about the humor. It's not about the actual challenge. It's what you can do with the challenge to make him laugh. So I definitely thought they were the funniest to me. But overall, no, yeah, I would have picked Angeria and Vanjie. I think they should have won. But I do hear your critique for why Chanel and Nina were the best. To me, it just felt safe. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like, you're right, they looked good, they hit the marks, they did have comedy in there. But I don't know, I wasn't buying the property. Yeah, I actually wouldn't have bought any of those properties.
Yeah, I wouldn't have bought any of those either. Well, the runway. Day to night reveal.
This was fun.
First up, we had Nina. This reminds me of was it called the Flying Nun?
Sure.
Back in the old days. And then she whips around and there's a lot of...
She's a cathedral, but it's got feathers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like conceptually I see where she was going, but it just wasn't correct, unfortunately.
And then God is a drag queen on a dress. So there were three
I thought
reveals.
That was funny. I did think that was funny. I don't think God is a drag queen, but I think it's funny. I liked the message. But like, there's just too many ideas here. Like, we've got flowers up in the hair. I think is that like a Jesus throne crown?
I think so.
Not Jesus throne.
Jesus throne crown.
Jesus crown. The feathers underneath the cathedral. I felt like the original outfit was just very basic. Like if you're going to be a priest or whatever, I feel like it should be tailored and it should yes, it's a simple outfit, but there's ways to do it to make it look elegant and updated. So yeah, overall, it wasn't good.
She has issues with putting things on outfits that we cannot see as an audience. Like how she had that reveal during the lip sync that time. And this, when it said God is a drag queen, I was like...
I was too. It was hard to read.
It was a little difficult.
The only reason I knew what it said is because of another tweet Gia did. Did you see that, T?
No, what was it?
She said, or actually it wasn't a tweet. It was a TikTok she did that then got tweeted. But basically she said something like, God don't care about you. It was funny. It was funny. She was stirring him up.
Next up, we had Chanel in a business lady look with red hair. And she undoes her belt and whoopsie-doo, here's number 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's classic. I think she looks good. Is it my favorite? Is it memorable? Is it the best thing we've ever seen? No, but it's good. If I saw that in a show, like if I went to a show in Vegas at brunch and she was presenting that, like I would live, and it's well done. And, there's nothing about it, though, that was like overly exciting me.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I also felt that like the red for me didn't necessarily give off the exquisite vibes that I would want. Like, I don't know if
What's
it's
wrong
the
with
color
red?
of red. No, I mean the color that she used. Like the color at the bottom of the dress when she like undid the dress and then there was like the slit and the red was coming out. I just wasn't a fan of that color. I thought it cheapened the look.
Interesting. Cherry red. Mm-hmm. I was wearing that cherry red dress when we were at the other event, the Gurus magazine. You didn't think I looked elegant? It was not velvet, girl. That was neoprene and sleeping bag.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. Hey, but that was like a different moment.
Sure.
I think that maybe the fabric looked a little phlegmy.
Phlegmy, like in your phlegmy fabric.
Let's go to the next person before I say something else stupid. Next up, we had Plastique Tiara.
She's
so
just
gorgeous.
Perfection. I can't. The hair, the mug, it's just perfect.
You're Gagatondra.
I was Gagatondra.
Roxxxy Andrews coming out in a very 50s housewife vibe. And then she undoes her dress, flips it as a coat. And
I liked the reveal. The reveal was gorgeous.
Okay, there was a Reddit thread.
Uh-oh,
it was not a nice one like yours.
Okay.
And it basically put all of Roxy's looks together. And it said, am I the only one that feels like I'm being gaslit to believe that all of these looks are amazing? They're not
bad.
They're not bad. They said they're not bad.
Good.
They're just good. And it's not the level that I guess that people expected from Roxxxy.
Right.
So it was like a whole thread.
They went in.
It was, but I will say that I don't think that it's technically, I do think that the design is there. I do think that the colors are there. I think what the issue is that I don't think it's hitting, the lights are hitting these things the way that she intended them to. Like the blues look flat to me.
Really? Okay. See, to me, when she revealed this, I was like, okay, this is what I was expecting on the outside. And so what I wish she would have done, because to me, it was clear that it was like blue sky. I wish she had had like a sun, you know, because she's got the moon here. So I wish she had a sun on the outside dress and like feathers, or like, it just felt like it needed more elements. It was too simplistic. It was too 50s housewife, and it wasn't enough drag to me. Whereas this, I'm like, okay. And I love, of course, that she makes it all herself. I think that that should be counted into it. But it was simple. And I mean, overall, I think I've been pretty honest. I haven't been blown away by her looks this season.
Yeah. But I don't know what it is. I just think for me, it's the color, because it looks like she painted fabric as a, like, I don't know.
I think that's print.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that'd be cool if she hand painted it. To me, again, that would give it more. But I think it's a print.
Got Mick.
Loved.
What did we think?
I loved. It was creative, and this was such an interesting reveal, you know? Like, it was unexpected. It's gorgeous. The body looks amazing. It's very day to night. I loved it. I think it was probably one of my favorites.
I think that she hit all the boxes. I think that the reveal was something that was a little unexpected. I was like, oh, is she going to pull off the jacket? And no, it didn't happen. And then you get it in the back, and I thought it was creative.
Yeah,
great.
I do too.
I also love that it was like short hair in the front and then long in the back.
And I also love how the inside of the coat is lined with the black sequin to really give that silhouette, and it has like a nice clean backdrop. Yeah.
What do you think of Georges coming out in her shades, her purse, and
simple, classic? I mean, it was good. The reveal is gorgeous. I love the dress. I mean, that gold beaded fringe moment is such a moment. I don't see how the two go together.
No. I loved the spinning. I thought it was like, oh, okay, it gives a little bit of an extra layer.
I loved the underneath.
Angeria, did not understand.
It was a no for me. It was a no. I mean, I don't love this, and I don't love the reveal. It's like we've got appliques, we've got feathers, we've got the print. Like, it just, I think it's too many ideas. And then print. The reveal just, it was a skirt. Like, it didn't really go, I mean, yeah, I guess it went day to night. It did. It went from a short dress that you'd wear to the day into a long dress from night. So it did hit that, but I wasn't blown away by any means.
Vanessa Vanjie and her Pretty Woman get up.
I loved it.
Oh, I thought you were about to say you didn't love it. And I was like, oh, okay. No, I absolutely loved it.
It's amazing. I mean, iconic movie. I love what she posted on Instagram. Did you see?
Oh, yes. Her and like on the streets and stuff.
So good.
Looks gorgeous. And the red hair, I loved that, like the hat.
Now talk about that with her undoing her skirt. That was not the most perfect, but it's an amazing look, and she looks just so beautiful.
Phenomenal. And those were her looks.
Okay.
At Roscoes this past weekend, there was
here we go.
More
it's always going down at Roscoes.
I love just bringing it up. So Vanjie and Naysha Lopez had a conversation about, I guess, I don't know if somebody in the audience asked Vanjie, but the topic of the money came up. And Vanjie basically said, oh yeah, the number that you guys are saying is what it was, and that's what we were given. But we were given half up front and half at the end. And Naysha Lopez said that whoever she replaced on All Stars 8, because she was brought in last minute.
She was the alternate, yeah.
Said that she took the money and ran.
Really?
But then I was like, would that not be a lawsuit? So then, but Vanjie and Naysha both were agreeing that this had happened. And that's why they're giving them half the money up front and then half at the end. Because somebody took it.
They gave it all up front in the beginning.
They gave it all up front in the beginning. Yeah, and then they ran, and then Naysha was put in.
So wait, did Naysha get the full money then?
Yeah, she got the full money.
Okay, well, at least that happened. But I'm with you. Something seems fishy.
Seems a little...
No, someone would get sued.
Yeah, someone 100%.
You're not just going to take World of Wonder's money and run away.
No.
For what? Happen.
Also, like, who was it?
Right. What was his name again? Who wrote us the novel?
Cody?
Cody, write us.
We need
Let us know. We need to know.
Figure it out for us. So yeah, we end up with our top two, Plastic Tiara and Roxxxy Andrews, and they end up performing to Nicki Minaj's Super Freaky Girl. This must have been the worst lip sync that has happened in a while. Not from my opinion, but from the editing.
Okay.
I was so aggravated watching this because a Nicki Minaj rap would come on. They would do like 2 words from it, and then it would cut to something completely different. And I'm like, I know this song. This was a song that I was blasting. So what I did is I took the lip sync and I pulled it into my editor.
Oh my God.
And then I took the Nicki Minaj video, pulled it into my editor, and I timed it up to see how much was cut out. There was a full 45 seconds. When I say 45 seconds, I mean full 45 seconds that was cut.
But no, because they don't always lip sync the full song. Sometimes the songs are edits. You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Well, it's probably because Nicki Minaj raps fast and they didn't know
They
the
didn't
words.
know the words.
Right.
Roxy kept turning around and
Classic.
doing things, and then Plastique was in the back of the stage. I don't think they knew the words, or if they did, rap is hard when you're doing a lip sync,
Right.
especially when you're trying to think of what to do and all of that.
Right.
So it was not my favorite lip sync, but it was there.
I really have no comment because honestly, y'all, I fell asleep. I'm not gonna lie. I got home yesterday from my trip. I put on the episode. I made it through the commercials, the looks, and I don't know. The sweet Lord took me on and I missed it. So I had to take your word for it this week.
Well, I wish I could actually upload that video so then I could show people.
Oh, the one where you put it together?
Yeah.
I know.
There was
Such a sleuth, Nancy Drew.
I don't know. It just bugged me for some reason. I was like, I need to solve this crime. I am going to put on my Sherlock Holmes hat and I'm going to go for it.
I love it. I love it. Well, so who ended up winning?
Roxy ends up winning.
Okay.
She gets the ability to cut somebody.
Now, this you showed me a clip of. This was cray-cray. This had to have been for TV. Didn't she go on Twitter and talk about this? Did you see that?
Oh, I didn't see that.
No, I saw that. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Girl, I saw it. She said, I'm going to address it tomorrow. And because I'm with you. There's no way she didn't know where people were standing.
Yeah, so Roxy wins. She has the scissors and she basically goes behind the girls, turns her back to them, and then ends up walking back and forth to choose somebody. Now, in my head, if I was doing that, I would know exactly where everybody would be.
Right.
You know how far the stage is. You also know when you're walking, you're probably going to be looking down if you're walking this way and stuff. You're going to see people's feet. You hear their voices because they're all calling out to you.
Yeah.
And then she snips Angeria, and then she turns around and is like, oh no.
Yeah. Okay, so she wrote this. This was 3 days ago. She said, I don't like to spoil, but I will be addressing allegations about what happened on the runway with one quick response tomorrow. So I was heated up. I was ready. And then this is the response. It would have been much easier for me to land at Mick and blame the scissors if I could see and hear everyone. Let me run around and make myself look stupid. I knew where no one was. Come on. Yes, I could have cut off Angie, but why kick someone while they're down? Nah, next.
If she didn't want to cut Angie, she should have pulled Angie from that group. Or she should have said, Angie, you're
Come
good.
stand over here, right?
Yeah, come stand with me. Or Angie, if I end up coming to you, I'm going to choose somebody else. Like, there needed to be something, because if she really didn't want to choose Angie, then she shouldn't have been in the mix.
Right. So someone wrote it all out and then said Gottmik took it well. And Roxy said she was the best about it. Upset, rightfully so, but she definitely understood. She's a real one and they are hard to find for sure. So behaving. Her last tweet, this is today, I love it. Someone said, who is Roxxxy Andrews this season? And she wrote, the same girl, silly, fun, fashion, nervous, emotional, bitchy, dramatic doll, without the messy from season 5 and the overthinking from All Stars 2. Love it. I mean, I love my Roxy, you know, I really do. I think she's a special queen. I definitely think she is one of the greatest to come out of the show for sure. I just don't know that I'm seeing what I know she can deliver this season, you know? But I do live for the drama. Yeah.
And that,
staged or not.
In that moment, I was like, oh, damn, because I didn't expect it. So I was like, okay, this is good.
Well, and
Like,
it would have been more dramatic if she just
went
stuck.
through with it. I wish RuPaul would have been like, sorry, you made your
can't.
choice.
I do too. That would have really gagged him.
Ooh.
That would have gagged him.
I bet Angeria would have walked out.
Yeah?
She would have said, I'm done.
I'm done. I don't think
I'm
so.
done.
She's a good team player, but she would have been mad.
Yeah, beyond. So I'm very excited to see this
When they come back into the workroom. Yeah, I think Gottmik's going to take it well. She knows.
No, but I mean Angeria, because she knows she's still going to be
fuming.
fuming.
Yeah, she is. She is. We're going to get some sound bites.
Those facial expressions when Roxxxy's scissored, I was like,
She was gagged.
Well, guys, this is coming to the end of our beautiful episode.
That's right.
Why did you look at me like that?
I don't know. You know. I saw someone, they were like, Laganja should do all the episodes delirious. She was hilarious. I'm like, no, this is me also delirious, okay? Not as funny today. You just got Cookie or me last week. But yeah, no, I'm just delirious. So I was just looking at you lovingly.
I'll always look at you lovingly.
Thank you. Thank you. I, have a great time when we're together.
Yeah. I did love some of the comments. I'm sorry. I did love some of the comments that were like, Laganja's about to cry, and Joseph literally laughs right before. I was like, I didn't know.
Right.
You were like, okay, I'm going to like bring up some notes. Oh, and then not a soul can clock. And I was like,
right.
And you're like,
I know. I love that. I saw they were like, Joseph was trying not to laugh. I was like, no, he just was unexpecting that.
Yeah, it was unexpected.
Yeah.
Also, before we leave,
Yeah.
make sure that you watch Monica Beverly Hill's new music video
Yes.
to Not a Soul Can Clock. She redid it. T.S. Madison ended up doing some stuff
Remix.
for it. It's a remix. And it had a really low amount of views. And it actually is pretty good. So, like, give her some love.
I
Show
love
Monica
that.
Beverly Hills.
Yes. Yes. I love that. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Queening Out. We'll see you next week.
Oh, and make sure to send us emails at laganjos@gmail.com. I'm Joseph.
I'm Ganja.
Bye.
Mwah.